Jessi from The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is now revealing what Fruity Pebbles means in response to Demi calling her out. And you guys, nothing could have prepared me for what Jessi revealed. So if you have been following The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and you saw the most recent season of the show, you know that Demi accused Marciano from Vanderpump Villa of SA, which is obviously an allegation that needs to be taken very seriously. However, multiple people don't believe Demi's allegations because they were with her at Vanderpump Villa and saw what went down. Well, Lisa Vanderpump, the star and executive producer of Vanderpump Villa, recently did an interview. She essentially said she saw all the footage, she knows what went down between Demi and Marciano, and she understands why people are doubting Demi. Well, Demi left a comment about this video that said Jessi is somewhere punching air right now, that Lisa is talking about me, not her. And this is what Jessi posted in response.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm loving this Demi crash out era right now. Her saying something like this is laughable because genuinely would never be jealous of someone saying these things that Lisa's saying about her. She got caught on camera, she knows it, and she's trying to backtrack. So since she wants to be petty and be an asshole, I think I'm just going to go ahead and say that Grandpa Brett likes to drink her piss like it's dirty soda, and he gulps it down like water, and that's what Fruity Pebbles is. So since she wants to be petty and be an asshole, I think I'm just going to go ahead and say that Grandpa Brett likes to drink her piss like it's dirty soda, and he gulps it down like water, and that's what Fruity Pebbles is.
There's no way that that's what the Fruity Pebbles thing meant. There's no freaking... She confirmed it. Demi, whatever her name is, she confirmed it.
Okay, so confession time? I genuinely thought Mormons were all about casseroles and being polite. Like, I thought these women were going to be talking about modest fashion and family values. But then I started catching up on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives for this video, and let me tell you, the chaos I discovered has me absolutely shook. We're talking affairs with reality TV stars, contract disputes that make housewives look tame, and relationship drama so messy it required multiple crossover episodes with other shows to contain it all. And here's the thing, what I'm about to tell you makes that sound like child's play. The bombshell coming later in this video, I had to fact check it 3 times because I genuinely didn't believe it could be that unhinged. By the end of this, you'll understand why the reunion on December 4th is going to be absolutely nuclear. Trust me, the revelation about what one cast member demanded during contract negotiations will make your jaw drop. Before we dive into this absolute chaos, smash that subscribe button. If you love messy drama breakdowns, hit the like button and that new hype button because it genuinely helps us grow and reach more tea lovers like you. Seriously, you'll want to be subscribed for what's coming in this series because the reunion footage I've seen, unreal. So let's start with the scandal that's been dominating season 3, and honestly, it's the kind of mess that makes you wonder how anyone thought this would stay quiet. Jessi Marciano had an affair with Marciano Brunette from Vanderpump Villa. The crossover nobody asked for, but apparently everyone needed. But wait until you hear what else was happening behind the scenes with another cast member and Marciano. That tea is coming, and it gets so much messier. Now, Jessi has confirmed that this was an emotional affair that included 2 kisses. But here's where it gets complex. She's also revealed that she was experiencing emotional abuse from her husband Jordan during their marriage, and this affair happened during a separation. So we're not just dealing with simple cheating drama here. We're dealing with a woman who was allegedly in a harmful situation, found connection elsewhere, and now the entire internet is dissecting every single detail. Get this though, Jessi has now blocked Marciano on social media and says she wasn't surprised when he started posting about their situation publicly, which, if you know anything about reality TV messy behavior, tells you everything about how that relationship actually ended. When you're blocking someone and saying you expected them to run to social media, that's not someone you left on good terms with. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the emotional abuse context changes how we should view this situation? But here's what's really wild about Jordan's response. He's actually taken full accountability, admitting he caused pain and was deeply unhealed during their marriage. In the world of reality TV husbands, that's practically unheard of. Most of these men would be posting cryptic quotes on Instagram and liking shady tweets. Jordan said, "Yeah, I messed up and meant it." The thing is, Jessi and Jordan are back together now, working on their marriage, with Jessi setting new boundaries. She even broke down in tears on TikTok, talking about how hard the scrutiny has been on both of them. And honestly, I get it. Imagine trying to rebuild your marriage while millions of people are commenting on every post about how you should leave. But the revelation I'm about to drop about what Marciano claims happened, save your shock for that, because it directly contradicts everything Jessi has said publicly. So here's Marciano's version, and this is where the he said, she said gets absolutely chaotic. He claims the affair lasted longer than the 2 weeks Jessi mentioned, and that she sent him pictures. Now, whether those pictures were the innocent kind or something else he's being deliberately vague about, which is either protecting her or trying to imply something without actually saying it, you decide which feels more likely. And get this, Marciano was supposed to attend the reunion. Production wanted him there for maximum drama, but then, literally 1 hour before filming, they told him not to come. 1 hour before. That's not a scheduling conflict. That's production realizing that having him there might actually cause a physical altercation or legal issue. When reality TV producers, who live for confrontation, tell someone to stay home, you know it was about to get truly unhinged. Let me know below. Would you have handled this differently if you were in Jessi's position? But here's the thing that nobody's really talking about. Jessi opening up about emotional abuse while taking accountability for the affair is actually incredibly nuanced for reality TV. She's not using the abuse as an excuse, but she's providing context for why she was vulnerable to connection elsewhere. That's growth. That's therapy speak. That's someone who's done the work. What happens next with another cast member's involvement with Marciano makes this look like child's play, though. Seriously, when I tell you what Demi claimed, you'll understand why the reunion needed extra security. Now let's talk about Demi, because this woman really said, I'm going to make my exit as chaotic as humanly possible, and then actually did it. According to Michaela Matthews, and this is the tea that had Reddit absolutely losing it, Demi wanted to get paid 3 times more than everyone else during contract renegotiations for season 3. 3 times more. Not like, hey, can I get a modest raise, or I think my storyline deserves a bit more. No, she wanted triple what her co-stars were making. And when she didn't get that, she officially walked away from MomTok. Though, here's where it gets confusing. She still appears in episode 6 and then returns later as a full-time cast member. So did she walk away, or did she just make a dramatic statement and then come back when her bank account reminded her that reality TV pays bills? Comment your theories. Was this a negotiation tactic or genuine principle? Demi herself said her decision came down to feeling like I wasn't being valued. Which, okay, I can respect wanting to know your worth. But asking for 3 times what your colleagues make when you're all essentially doing the same job? That's not knowing your worth. That's having an inflated sense of your importance to the show. But wait until you hear what Demi accused Marciano of during that Vanderpump Villa crossover. This is where things get extremely serious and uncomfortable. So during the crossover episodes, because apparently one show couldn't contain this mess, Demi accused Marciano of unwanted touch in SA. This is obviously an incredibly serious allegation that goes way beyond typical reality TV drama. We're talking about potential criminal behavior, not just someone being shady or starting rumors. Now here's where it gets legally complicated. Marciano has denied these allegations completely, claiming everything was consensual and that Hulu production reviewed all the footage and cleared him.
I am very sympathetic to this situation, and why I don't take it lightly is because I do know women that have gone through this before, and I know both sides of it, where they have been believed and where they aren't believed, and why it's so serious. It obviously all started in Vanderpump Villa, and it was a very mutual connection that she was very flirtatious, very touchy-feely with me. So she obviously was giving me the implication that everything was fine.
Obviously, she has claimed that you are a sexual predator.
I'm taking this so seriously because it literally is so damaging to my name and possibly career, to the point where, like, I still have a job, a basic job.
Are you thinking of, like, filing a lawsuit against her?
Yes. It's 100% being discussed right now.
I cannot believe that this is actually happening, but we are finally seeing some receipts from the drama that went down between Demi and Marciano during Vanderpump Villa. So Marciano posted a video basically saying, you know, I wish I could show you guys more, but you want receipts? I'm gonna show you receipts. So he says he had just gotten fired off of Vanderpump Villa and was at some airport bar, drinking wine, eating pizza, and he decided to post a photo of it on his Instagram story. And he said immediately after he posted this photo on his story, he received a follow and a DM from Demi. She DM'd him and said, what the fuck, are you going home? To which Marciano responded, oh no, she follows me, LOL, and then Demi said, LOL. Anyways, Marciano says, because it's you, I'll be honest, yes. Then Demi responds and says, what the hell is happening? Call me, and proceeds to give Marciano her phone number. Marciano then says he did call her, and the two of them had a multiple-hour phone conversation. Marciano then says in the video, you know, Demi has made some crazy allegations about me, but if that were the case, why are you following me? Why are you DMing me? Why are you giving me your phone number? And why are you continuing to have a relationship with me after the fact. He then ends the video by saying that there is so much more of this that's going to come out. And he says, honestly, guys, I cannot wait for you to see it. Now, actually, how I interpreted this DM is not that like Demi is concerned that Marciano got fired, but almost as if she was like worried that it had to do with her. And that's why she was like freaking out, like, what the hell is happening? Call me. And I could be wrong, but that's how I'm reading into this. And now following that video, Marciano also posted this to his Instagram story saying, I really do wish I could speak more on everything, but like I said, the whole truth will come out soon. And by soon, I'm assuming he means when more Mormon Wives come out. He says, I want to make it absolutely clear that I do not condone SA in any way, shape, or form. It's a serious matter that should never be taken lightly. But at the same time, I do not support or excuse anyone who falsely claims SA, as that harms real victims and undermines the gravity of the issue.
If you are still confused about the whole Marciano and Demi situation and how the assault claims came about, please listen to this. Marciano was on Heather McDonald's podcast today. The way he explained it clarified the timeline for me and why Demi did what she did. On the podcast, Marciano explains that a few days after Demi and the rest of the cast had left the villa, he was fired. But he was not fired because of anything to do with Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. He and Hannah were both fired, and he had posted like on his story that he was out eating in Italy. And that is when Demi had responded to him because she knew if he was filming, he wouldn't have his phone. So she sends her number and tells him, call me. He calls her soon after, and they have 2 phone calls. The first phone call was 49 minutes, and the second phone call was 1 hour and 13 minutes. And Hannah was even like annoyed because she's like, why are you talking to this woman for 2 hours? When Demi learns that Marciano was fired, she thought that maybe he was fired because he and Demi were very flirty with each other. They had a kiss, they said, I love you. And why she thought this was because another castmate slept with Layla and had gotten fired. So in order to get ahead of all this, that's when Demi brought up these accusations to the women before she brings it up to Marciano.
She asked me, were you fired for like, touching me? I was like, what are you talking about? And then this is what makes me really upset, but also ends up backfiring on her. The fact that she didn't know why I was fired and she panics. She's with all the girls still. So she tries to get ahead of what possibly could have happened, whatever, and tells all the girls that she was assaulted. And she has talked about this where she was like, I told them all to stay silent. I don't want this coming out. Well, because it wasn't true, obviously.
Right.
And she was just trying to protect herself just in case if it comes out on the show why I was fired. So she tried to do that right away. And it ends up backfiring on her because I told her, I was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, and then I told her why I was fired. And
which was with a totally different person. Had nothing to do with flirting with the MomTok people.
And it's because Aiden was fired. I still don't even know why, but things were going on with him and Layla. So she was like, did he get fired for doing something for doing something with me?
And then it would come out on the show. And it would come out
on the show.
So she would rather get ahead of it and say it was unwanted advances.
Yeah, and the girls were trying to pressure her into filing charges.
They believed her and were horrified.
They were trying to believe her, which I 100% agree with.
Except if it's not true.
If it's not true. And she was like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to bury this. I'm just making you aware.
And for timeline purposes, Marciano says that he got back home in Vegas like mid-August 2024. Mind you guys, September 6, 2024 was when season 1 had premiered. So season 1 didn't even premiere yet. So he and Demi were in contact, he said, up until like the end of September of 2024. She had even invited him to Utah to watch the premiere of their show. But they stopped talking when the whole like Jessi situation like blew up. They were texting each other a bunch. Once he was done lying for Demi, she was done speaking with him.
Oh, I categorically know what happened because we have cameras everywhere and I've seen every ounce of the footage. So I think when the women are doubting her, I think they've got very good reason. Any allegations against Marciano, I have the luxury of having all the footage.
Either the footage shows something different than what Demi experienced, or there's a major disconnect between what happened and what was captured on camera. But here's what makes this even messier. Demi told Whitney that she wanted to keep things quiet because she didn't want the allegations to come out publicly. So she made an accusation but then wanted it kept private. But it's now public anyway because it's reality TV and nothing stays private. The whole situation is deeply uncomfortable and raises questions about how reality shows handle serious allegations behind the scenes. Tell me in the comments, how should production have handled this situation differently? And this is where Demi's credibility gets even more complicated. During the season 2 reunion, Jessi brought receipts, and I mean actual DM screenshots, showing flirty messages between Marciano and Demi. So Demi was allegedly flirting with the same man she later accused of assault, which doesn't mean assault can't happen between people who previously flirted. It absolutely can, but it does create a complicated narrative that the internet has been dissecting endlessly. Oh, and Demi also skipped the season 2 reunion entirely because she had a non-refundable family vacation to Disneyland planned. Because nothing says, I'm committed to this show, like bailing on the reunion for a theme park trip. The same woman who wanted triple the pay couldn't reschedule a Disneyland vacation for the biggest filming day of the season. The pattern here is pretty clear. Demi wants the money and attention of reality TV without the accountability and showing up parts. And honestly, that's not how this works. What I'm about to tell you next about Taylor and Dakota will make you realize Demi's mess was just the warm-up act. Okay, so if you've been watching this show thinking, surely Taylor will eventually leave Dakota permanently, buckle up, because season 3 delivered the betrayal that might actually be the final straw. And when I say betrayal, I don't mean he forgot their anniversary or liked another woman's Instagram photo. I mean he allegedly sexted one of Taylor's mom's friends. Let that sink in. Her mom's friend, someone described as basically a family member, someone who presumably attended family gatherings, knew Taylor's children, and was part of their inner circle. But the detail I'm about to reveal about when this happened makes it exponentially worse. Keep watching. So this incident likely happened in 2023 while Taylor was pregnant with their son, Ever. Pregnant. She was growing his child while he was allegedly sending inappropriate messages to someone in her family's circle. The absolute audacity of this man never ceases to amaze me.
Let's talk about Leanne's friend that Dakota allegedly did things with. So this lady, Tina Dodge Gerlach, I believe her name is, who was Leanne's friend for several years, who Taylor considered a family member, is who Dakota allegedly did something with. When Leanne had posted this to her IG story, this is basically what gave it away. She had made this post with a skull over one of her friends' faces and said, God has removed you from a table where you used to sit in order to save you from a host who was serving you poison. Let that sink in. And I don't even think she left it up for a full 24 hours. I think it was like a post and then a delete. And people discovered that it was Tina Dodge Gerlach. Tina, I believe, is 50 years old, and what really confirmed it for me was that she wiped her socials after the news had came out. You cannot find her online, and Leanne has also wiped her from all her socials. I'm pretty sure she even went on Leanne's podcast, and I actually posted about that months ago. And this is why when Dakota posted the "we were on a break," you know, the Ross sound, it doesn't matter. Like, the break is not the issue. It is who you were doing whatever with. Like, I'm sorry, they should not have even been texting each other. Mind you, she is who Taylor considers family. Why are you flirty texting her? There is no reason. There's no excuse, especially when you also are there saying how much you want to get back with Taylor and how much you love Taylor. Honestly, it makes me sad because after the Stagecoach post, I remember that I was like, dude, like, it'd be so good if they got back together. Like, they're so cute together. But then he goes and ruins it. Again, months later, he gets with Shania. And here's the thing, he can get with whoever he wants. As you know, he's single. Shania, I think she was single, I don't really know. I just watched the Stagecoach episode and I'm seeing like Shania all over Taylor in the party bus. They even kiss each other. Shania is Taylor's friend. More than Dakota's friend, what it looks like. Why do you need to get with Shania? Like, is there not people that Taylor's not connected to? I'm pretty sure you can find someone in Utah that Taylor's not connected to. And that's why I wish Dakota would understand. It's not about that you were single when you did this. That's fine. You are single. You can do what you want. But if you really do love someone like you claim, why would you be getting with people that you know would hurt Taylor if you did that?
And here's where it gets even more painful. Taylor confronted this woman with her mom present. Can you imagine that conversation? Sitting down with your mother to confront her friend about sexting your baby daddy? The woman initially denied everything, then changed her story to claim the photos were just swimming suit pictures from Florida. Because apparently in her mind, sending swimsuit pics to your friend's pregnant daughter's partner is totally normal behavior. Dakota, for his part, refused to film any scenes discussing this incident, which is either him protecting what little dignity he has left, or him knowing that if cameras caught his explanation, it would be obviously fake. When the man who's been messy on camera for 3 seasons suddenly draws a line, you know it's bad. Drop your hot takes below. Is there any coming back from this, or is Taylor just delaying the inevitable? But wait, there's more. Because one betrayal apparently wasn't enough for Taylor's story this season. After all this came out, Taylor and Dakota briefly reconciled during Stagecoach Festival. Why? Because they got jealous seeing each other with other people. That's it. That's the reason. Not because they worked through their issues or went to therapy, because they saw each other potentially moving on and couldn't handle it. Taylor called this the 4th woman Dakota had betrayed her with. The 4th. This man has a whole roster of betrayals at this point. He's not making mistakes, he's running a pattern of behavior. And the way Taylor found out about the Bachelorette opportunity? With the rest of the world. She didn't tell Dakota in advance that she was going on the show. Just packed up and let him discover it on social media like everyone else. Which honestly, iconic energy. After 4 betrayals, he doesn't deserve advance notice about anything. But here's what nobody saw coming with Dakota's response. Wait until I tell you how he tried to justify his behavior publicly. Dakota posted a TikTok referencing that Friends scene where Ross yells, "We were on a break," because apparently this man thinks his life is a sitcom and not the actual painful reality of a woman he kept betraying while she was carrying his children. The audacity to make a joke out of cheating on your partner with her mother's friend while she was pregnant is genuinely stunning. Cast members Macy and Michaela publicly dragged him in the comments for this post, because even his partner's co-workers were like, absolutely not, this isn't funny. When reality TV stars who live for drama are telling you that you've crossed a line, you've really crossed a line. And here's the fresh tea. Dakota was recently spotted getting flirty with Brooks Nader from Love Thy Nader at a Hulu event, so he's already moved on to trying to collect reality stars like Pokemon cards. This man has learned absolutely nothing. Absolutely. Let me know what you think. Is Dakota genuinely this clueless about how his behavior looks, or is this all calculated for staying relevant? The thing that gets me about this entire situation is that Taylor keeps going back. And before anyone jumps down my throat, I get it. Leaving someone you have children with is incredibly complicated, especially when it's all playing out on camera and millions of people are commenting. But at some point, the pattern becomes clear. Dakota is showing you exactly who he is. Believe him. What happens next with the Dancing with the Stars drama makes even Dakota's mess look simple by comparison. So apparently getting cast on Dancing with the Stars became the most contentious issue in MomTok history, and honestly, the pettiness of this entire situation is absolutely unhinged. Both Jen and Whitney wanted to be on DWTS, which, like, fair, it's great exposure and you get to wear sparkly outfits and learn cool choreography. But here's where it gets messy. Jen claims she'd been telling Whitney about her dream of being on DWTS since day 1 of their friendship. So in Jen's mind, Whitney knew this was her thing, her goal, her dream opportunity, and then Whitney allegedly went behind her back to also pursue it. Now here's the revelation that made everyone realize how calculated Whitney actually is. She admitted she only returned to Mormon Wives filming specifically to get this opportunity. She didn't come back because she missed her friends or wanted to continue her storyline. She came back because she knew Dancing with the Stars pulls from reality TV, and she needed to be actively filming to stay relevant enough to be considered. But wait until you hear what else Whitney allegedly demanded in her contract. The entitlement is truly something. According to reports, Whitney wanted a scripted TV role and Oscar tickets as part of her contract demands for returning to the show. Let me repeat that, Oscar tickets. This woman thought she was such a big deal that she could demand access to the Academy Awards as payment for filming a reality show about Mormon influencers. The sheer audacity of thinking you're on that level after being on a show for 2 seasons is genuinely mind-blowing. Like, even actual A-list celebrities have to campaign and network for Oscar tickets. But Whitney thought she could just write it into her contract like it was a gym membership. Comment your predictions. Do you think Whitney actually believed she'd get Oscar tickets, or was she just testing how far she could push? So both women ended up competing on DWTS, which was always going to be awkward. 2 cast members from the same show competing against each other while their show is actively airing. The producers knew exactly what they were doing with that casting. After Jen's elimination in October, she confirmed she has no relationship with Whitney anymore. None. They're done. And just to really drive home how done she was, Jen told TMZ she was rooting for Robert Irwin, the crocodile hunter's son, to win instead of Whitney. Not even trying to be politically correct about it, just straight up, yeah, I hope literally anyone else wins. Whitney ended up being eliminated during the semifinals, so neither of them won. But the friendship was the real casualty here. All that bonding over being Mormon moms and social media, gone because of a dancing competition. Tell me I'm not the only one who thinks this is absolutely unhinged behavior over a reality competition show? The thing that gets me about this drama is how it reveals what a lot of these women actually care about. It's not the friendship or the community, it's the opportunities, the exposure, the ability to leverage this show into bigger things. And honestly, I can't even be mad at the hustle. But let's stop pretending it's about genuine connection when you're literally ending friendships over who gets to waltz on ABC. And here's what's really wild. Whitney's transparency about only coming back for DS is actually refreshing in a cynical way. Most reality stars pretend they're there for the friendship and growth. Whitney said, nah, I want Dancing with the Stars and I'll do what it takes to get it. At least she's honest about her motives, even if those motives are completely self-serving. What I'm about to tell you next about how the show is produced will make you question everything you've watched. Here's where Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is actually doing something kind of brilliant that most reality shows won't touch. Producers Jeff Jenkins and Lisa Filippelli have openly said they deliberately include contract negotiations and behind-the-scenes drama in the actual show. And their reasoning? The cast posts so much online anyway that pretending it's all organic and unplanned is pointless. Think about how revolutionary that actually is for reality TV. Most shows maintain this facade that everything is happening naturally and the cameras just happen to be there. But SLOMW is like, yeah, we know you know this is produced, so let's just acknowledge it and make it part of the story. The show literally includes scenes of cast members discussing wanting to be on TV. They acknowledge their co-workers, not just friends who happen to film together. They talk about contracts and money and opportunities. It's reality TV that's honest about being reality TV. And honestly, it works because we're all sophisticated enough to know that reality shows are produced and storylines are crafted. Pretending otherwise is actually more insulting to viewers than just acknowledging the business side. But here's what this transparency also reveals about how quickly production is moving. And it's honestly kind of concerning for the cast's well-being. These women have been shooting almost constantly since season 1, with only a few months break between seasons. 3 seasons have dropped in just over 1 year. That's an absolutely brutal filming schedule that doesn't leave much time for actually processing the drama that's happening, let alone living a normal life. Think about it. They're filming their real relationships, real marriages, real parenting, while also dealing with the fallout from previous episodes airing, while simultaneously negotiating contracts for future seasons. There's no separation between their real life and their TV life anymore. It's all just one exhausting content cycle. If you're as concerned as I am about the mental health implications of this schedule, let me know in the comments. And the crossover situation has gotten absolutely out of control. Taylor is currently filming The Bachelorette. Jen and Whitney competed on multiple cast members appeared on Vanderpump Villa, which is how we got the whole Marciano situation. These women are basically becoming full-time reality TV performers who occasionally take breaks to film their original show. At what point does Mormon influencer who films her life become professional reality TV personality who happens to be Mormon? Because I'd argue we passed that point somewhere in season 2. The revelation coming up about what's being teased for the reunion will make all of this behind-the-scenes context suddenly make sense. So beyond the major scandals we've covered, there's actually some genuinely important storylines in season 3 that got overshadowed by all the affair and contract drama. Starting with Jen Affleck's return, she took a mental health break in season 2 due to marital issues and prenatal depression, which honestly, good for her for prioritizing her well-being. The fact that she came back at all shows real strength, because it would have been so easy to just walk away after taking a break. But she returned and has been open about her struggles, which is more vulnerable than most reality stars ever get. Season 3 also highlights pregnancies for Jen, Maisie Neely, and Michaela Matthews. So we've got 3 women navigating pregnancy while filming a reality show about their already chaotic lives. The layers of stress here are genuinely concerning. But here's a storyline that deserves way more attention. Layla Taylor opened up about growing up as a black woman in Utah and feelings of alienation. This is important context that the show hasn't really explored before, and it adds depth to understanding what it's like to be in this predominantly white Mormon influencer community while not fitting the typical mold. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the show is doing enough to explore the diversity issues within Mormon culture? Producer Jeff Jenkins has teased that a new cast member is joining season 4, and she'll be the first addition since Miranda joined in season 2. The fact that they're adding someone new after all this chaos suggests they either need a buffer person to mediate, or they want to introduce fresh drama since the current cast has exhausted most of their scandal potential. My prediction? They're bringing in someone who's connected to existing cast members but hasn't been featured yet. Someone who has receipts anecdotes about past drama or a connection to one of the husbands. Because that's what reality TV does when ratings are good, but drama is getting stale. They bring in someone from the past who can reveal new information. What comes next at the actual reunion makes all of this season 3 drama look like the preview for the main event. Okay, so the reunion films on December 4th, and the amount of chaos being teased is honestly making me nervous for everyone involved. First change, Stassi Schroeder from Vanderpump Rules is hosting instead of Nick Viall from The Viall Files. Stassi is known for not letting people dodge questions and having opinions, so this isn't going to be a gentle conversation. The official teaser promises the most dramatic reunion yet, with both MomTok and DadTok present. So all the husbands will be there, which means Jordan and Dakota will have to sit there while their betrayals are discussed in detail on camera. The masochism required to show up for that is genuinely impressive. They're also promising never-before-seen footage and controversial guests, which, given that Marciano won't be attending after that last-minute uninvite, makes me wonder who else they've got lined up. The woman Dakota was allegedly sexting, someone from Demi's past, a surprise cast member for season 4. But here's the detail that tells you everything. When asked if things have improved since the finale, Taylor responds, "No, not really. Not, we're working through it, or time has helped. Just a flat nope, still messy." That's the energy going into this reunion. Let me know what you think. What's the question you most want Stassi to ask at the reunion? The fact that production needed Marciano to stay away an hour before filming suggests they got intel that his presence would cause a legitimate incident. Either someone threatened to walk if he showed up, or lawyers got involved, or production realized the liability of having him there outweighed the dramatic value. And honestly, good call, because having Jessi, Jordan, and Demi all in the same room with the man at the center of multiple allegations would have been a lawsuit waiting to happen. Reality TV loves drama, but producers also love not getting sued. The trailer shows multiple cast members crying, which is standard reunion behavior. But there's also shots of people walking out and refusing to engage, which suggests some conversations went so badly that people couldn't even stay in the room. That's when you know it got truly unhinged. What I am about to tell you about season 4 will make you realize this reunion is just the beginning of even more chaos. So Hulu renewed the show for another 20 episodes on November 25th, 2025, which means we're getting a whole 4th season expected to premiere in early 2026. Production has already been filming through most of 2025 and into 2026, which again is an absolutely brutal schedule for everyone involved. But here's what's interesting. They announced the renewal before the season 3 reunion even aired. That means Hulu has enough confidence in the ratings and engagement to commit to more content regardless of how the reunion goes. This show has become a genuine hit for them. The question is whether the cast can sustain this level of drama for another season. We've already had affairs, contract disputes, betrayals, and friendship breakups. What's left? Someone's going to have to really escalate things to keep viewers interested. My prediction is that season 4 will focus heavily on Taylor's bachelorette experience and fallout, potentially explore the new cast members' integration into the group, and probably introduce some new scandal we haven't even conceived of yet. Because that's how reality TV works. Just when you think you've seen it all, someone does something absolutely unhinged. The real question is whether this show can maintain its meta approach while still delivering genuine emotional moments. Because the more you acknowledge the business side and the production elements, the harder it becomes to pretend viewers should be emotionally invested in the relationships. Tell me in the comments, what storyline do you want to see explored in season 4? But here's what concerns me about the sustainability of this franchise. These women's real lives are now completely consumed by producing content for this show. Their marriages, their parenting, their friendships, everything is filtered through the lens of, will this make good television? At some point, the authenticity that made season 1 interesting gets completely lost under the pressure to produce drama. And we're already seeing that with people like Whitney, openly admitting she only came back for opportunities, not because she cared about the show itself. So here's what I keep coming back to with Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. It started as a show about a specific scandal within a specific community, and it's evolved into this bizarre meta commentary on influencer culture, reality TV production, and the cost of fame. These women went from posting dance videos on TikTok to filming 3 seasons of a reality show in a year, appearing on other reality shows, getting offered major opportunities, and having their every relationship scrutinized by millions. The whiplash of that transformation has to be genuinely disorienting. And the Mormon angle, which was initially the hook, has almost become secondary to the broader themes of women navigating social media fame, messy relationships, and the complications of monetizing your personal life. They could be from any community at this point. The drama is universal. But what makes this show fascinating despite all the mess is that it's honest about the mess. It doesn't pretend these are just regular moms who happen to film their lives. It acknowledges the business side, the calculation, the opportunities being pursued. And somehow that honesty makes the emotional moments feel more genuine when they do happen. I need to hear your thoughts on this because I'm genuinely curious. Do you think shows like this are harmful to the cast members' well-being? Or is this just the new normal for how fame works in the age of social media? The Season 3 reunion on December 4th is going to be absolutely nuclear. We've got unresolved affair drama, contract disputes that haven't been addressed, friendship breakups that are fresh, and relationship chaos that's still actively unfolding. Plus whatever never-before-seen footage and controversial guests they're teasing. My advice? Clear your schedule, make some popcorn, and prepare for the absolute chaos. Because based on everything we've covered in this video, there's no way this reunion ends with everyone holding hands and singing Kumbaya. Someone's walking out, someone's crying, and someone's probably going to say something they immediately regret. If you made it this far, comment "Messy Mormons," so I know you're as invested in this chaos as I am. Hit that subscribe button because I'll be breaking down the reunion the second it drops, and trust me, you'll want my analysis of whatever unhinged behavior goes down. The like button and hype button are right there. Show this video some love if you enjoyed this deep dive into absolute chaos. And let me know in the comments which storyline you're most interested in seeing play out at the reunion. Until next time, I'll be here, spilling the tea one drop at a time, wondering how these women managed to create this much drama while raising multiple children and running businesses. The organizational skills alone are impressive, even if the decision-making is questionable. Stay messy, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video where we break down every single moment of that reunion. It's going to be wild.